Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. And if you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Caught us off guard, really. We haven't really went over defenses doing all up zero against us, like just all up, flat out zero. But I feel we have an answer for it this year. We watched a lot of film of those guys because we don't want it to happen again.
It's time for Dolphins football. Welcome to the Miami Dolphins Pregame Show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. Here's your host, the Big O.
That was just beautiful right there. I hope you all are doing well out there. Hope you're recovered from last night. It was a rough one last night as the Canes end up losing to Texas A&M, but kind of the way they lost. And, I'm thinking Dolphins today, but I was thinking Dolphins last night. Well, I think Dolphins every day, every minute of every day, every week, every month, all year long. No, but seriously, if Mike McDaniel was on that sideline last night, he's throwing the ball on 3rd and 6. He's going for it on 4th and 4. He's trying to score a touchdown because you saw what he did on 4th and 7. So I'm just saying it takes a certain level. You need an edge. One of our proud sponsors is Edge Energy Drink, myedgedrink.com. You can get 10% off by mentioning our code Big O. And so you need an edge in life, right? And you need an edge on the sidelines. And one of the things that I like about the Dolphins this year and what I've seen so far from Mike McDaniel in a practice, in a scrimmage, in a preseason game, in a regular season game, he will coach fearless. And I think in today's world, in today's sports, you're going to have to take some chances. You're going to have to take some risks. The New Orleans Saints today are taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Years ago, they won a championship with Sean Payton. And one of the key moves in that game was the onside kick to start the second half. A chance he took, a chance that paid off, a chance that led to a title. And you're going to have to take chances. And in a game like today against the Baltimore Ravens, you cannot go in there to play conservative. You cannot go in there to play not to lose, which is kind of what we saw yesterday with the Canes. They did enough, but they did not cross that threshold. Mike McDaniel will cross that threshold if it's needed, if you've got to take a chance. And one of the things that Mike McDaniel did last week, that unfortunately Mario Cristobal had that chance last night. He, from the get-go, has been a player's coach. And he's telling players, I believe in you, dude. No, you're going to do this. We're going to teach you how to do this. You're going to do, you fail. Don't worry about it. You're going to get it. Great job. You did it. We told you you can do it. And so then when you're talking about all of this, but then you walk the walk. So 4th and 7 comes up and you say, no, guys, we're going for it on this move. And, there's seconds left. It's not the biggest gamble in the world, but it's a gamble. But it is a gamble. A gamble that easily could have blown up. Prior Dolphin teams take that gamble. You know what we're talking about. So that's one of the things I feel really good about going into this game today. You're not going into the Baltimore Ravens stadium scared. You're not going in with a coach who's not trying to lose. You're going in with a coach that's saying, what do I do to take advantage of you? And if I can do it over and over again, I'm going to do it. And if I can surprise you, I will. And if I can scheme this, I am. And if I can take this chance, I will. And if I see that coverage, I'm going to do this. It's like, hey, guys, let's maintain possession. Let's be smart with the football. Let's make sure that every time we have a chance at points, we take the points. 3 or 7 will depend on. No. The Wanstead way of playing football will get you beat. And I hate to say it, but you saw a little Wani and a little Sperano last night for the Miami Hurricanes because you weren't willing to take a chance. And by Mike McDaniel taking a chance last week, he has now instilled that confidence in his players. So while he tells them that he's encouraging them, while he's trying to help them achieve those things, he's also not going to back down and say, hey, when push comes to shove, I'm going to put you guys on the spot because I count on you. And real players, they love to be put on the line. They love to be the guys that have to get it done. That's what Tyreek Hill wants. That's what Waddle wants. That's what Gesicki wants. That's what Tua wants, believe it or not, for some of you out there. That's kind of what we're seeing. And that's what you like here, okay? Ogba wants to make plays. Van Ginkel wants to make plays. Brandon Jones wants to make plays. Javon Holland always makes plays. You got people on both sides of the football that are hungry and want to make plays. And they're confident in their abilities. And why are they confident in their abilities? Because the coach has helped instill that confidence, that belief, not just on the sidelines, but in the game, not just in a practice field, but in the weight room, everywhere. And that's part of this whole process. And that's what I like about what Mike McDaniel's doing. You're not going to get a scared Dolphins team today. And last night, that's kind of what I saw. I saw a team that was not trying to lose instead of taking some chances. You're on the road. You've got a chance. You've got a chance to put them on the ropes. Do it. You've got a chance to make them really nervous. Do it. And today is going to be a lot of fun to watch Mike McDaniel on the road and see how he handles this whole environment. So looking forward to it. I cannot wait. 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welch and Rayon text line, that's 855-912-1056. And you're going to need an edge today, right? And I just told you about Edge Energy Drink. Let me make sure. Go to myedgedrink.com. Folks, you can't get it in a store. You can only get it delivered right to your doorstep, which is a lot better. You don't have to waste time, gas, and all that searching around. Go to myedgedrink.com. Use our code BIG-O. You will get 10% off your order. A great elixir. Mixing it up with a little vodka or rum or anything. I mix it up with my Grey Goose. With vodka, it is, to die for. It is so awesome. Go to myedgedrink.com. The finest energy drink on the planet. It is delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. Support the great sponsors that support us. myedgedrink.com. Use our code BIG-O. Brian Walters, thank you, sir. You didn't waste any time with a little super chat. I appreciate you. He says, good morning. Thanks for doing the Kane show last night. Yes. So the funny part is it's late, you're done, and I can't just dive into bed. I got to watch television and tire myself out a little bit more. It is so weird, dude. I got to tell you, so weird. It really is. Let's see. What else do we have here? Big O Cameron Wolf on the NFL Network at 10 on a live shot that Armstead is going through warmups first to see if he's good to go. Yeah, I think he'll be good to go. I'm interested to see the inactives. So Sean, once you're always on top of it, I don't even have to tell you, but once the inactives, I know Sean will tell us the inactives, and we'll. I'm interested to see if there's a name on that inactive list or not. And I'm just saying, just kind of interested. Dougie Fresh says, oh, sending you my prediction through your hidden beads. 21-17 Dolphins. I like it. I like it. Ian from Brooklyn says, bro, Big O, nice hat. Canes are lacking a receiving core, which is unbelievable because we are in the land of wide receivers. Yes. Yeah, their wide receiving core is terrible. Keep Dobbins. No, Dobbins is not playing, David. J.K. Dobbins is out. So it'll be Kenyon Drake and others. By the way, former Dolphin Kenyon Drake. Ronnie Stanley, left tackle, will be out. Patrick McCarry. So Dolphins have a way of attacking them too. Just like, I know that the Austin Jackson thing going to Greg Little, it might be an upgrade. It might be the same. It might be a downgrade. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? From Ronnie Stanley to McCarry, right, is a guy's last name. That's a downgrade for sure. The Greg Little one, we're not sure. We're not exactly sure. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like Austin Jackson has established himself like some kind of good or great player or decent player yet. You know what I'm saying? He has made improvement. God bless him. I give him credit. He is playing his best football so far. But, I mean, there's one game under your belt. So it's just not enough right now to hand him the title of you have arrived. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you something interesting on this. So Austin Jackson is out for a month. What happens if Greg Little plays really well in the next month? What do you do? Isn't it a no-brainer? Austin Jackson never gets his job back. Greg Little's a former high pick in this league, just like Austin Jackson is. And he kind of lost his way. And they've liked him from the get-go. From last year, they have stuck with him. So what happens if Greg Little plays well the next month? He's got 4 games to shine now. Think about that. So if he goes for the next month and kicks ass, how do you not give him the job? How does he not keep the job? And when you think about it, there's a kid named Kader Kohu who came out of Division II, and they're giving him plenty playing time and important playing time. Hell, they started by keeping him on the roster, even though he missed half of training camp. Think about that. So this is a huge month for Greg Little's career. He has an opportunity to get his stature back because he's a failed high pick. And lots of linemen over the years have failed early on in their careers and then found their ways after and figured it out. It's a really difficult position. And so it's normal for guys to fail early and then succeed later on. That's not out of the norm overall. That can happen. It happens a lot. So Greg Little easily could find his way here and become a starter for the next 10 years. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying this is the opportunity of a lifetime for Greg Little. He might screw it up, and they might go to Larnell Coleman, who they activated in the first quarter, after I'm telling you all this. But if Greg Little is smart, this is the opportunity that he's wanted. And if Austin Jackson is realistic, he better be worried. He better be worried. You know, the Mad Dog, rest in peace, Mad Dog, he always used to say, there's a shoeless man outside the door waiting to take your job. And he's right about that. You know, for most jobs, there's somebody out there that wants your job, that needs the job, and they're willing to do anything it takes. And so don't get too comfortable and don't get too complacent. Not that Austin Jackson could ever get complacent because he's never done anything in his life to get complacent at the NFL level. Tom Brady can get complacent. Maybe he is. That's why he's taking Wednesdays off. But anyway, so great opportunity for Greg Little. Great opportunity for Greg Little. Let's see if he takes advantage of it. We shall find out. Big O, thoughts on Robert Jones? Haven't seen enough. That's my problem. I do love the ability. It's there. The nastiness is there. He needs the experience. He needs to show consistency. He hasn't played enough. So you'll see flashes, but then you'll see setbacks. You know, and he's a young guy. I mean, undrafted. So you've got to expect him to be somewhat green. You know what I'm saying? But it's all there. It's not like he lacks anything to be able to play at this level. So he can do it. How bad must Solomon Kinley be that the Finns won't even put him back on the practice squad? Sometimes you just don't fit. And they must feel like he doesn't fit. So what are you going to do, right? It's going to be a lot of fun today. And let me be honest now. Not that I'm never brutally honest on this damn show. I've had a lot of fun the last couple of days. I've had a lot of fun the last couple of days because for a long time now, I have felt the unfair treatment of Tua Tagovailoa. And as a guy that, I guess I'm the nutbag, one of the nutbags, many of us nutbags are out there, that I believe in the kid and I think he can be a hell of a player for the Dolphins and a Super Bowl winner. Really. I honestly believe that. And I guess those of us that believe in it, we're kind of crazy, right? And we're looked upon that way because he doesn't look like your typical 6'4" strapper with a gun and all that kind of stuff. And so for 2 years, we've had to hear the Justin Herbert bullcrap. And again, a very talented young man in Justin Herbert. I mean, dude, if you had to build the mold of how you want a quarterback to look, it's Justin Herbert. Size, arm, athleticism, all that stuff doesn't make you a great quarterback. Been trying to explain that to people, but whatever. And so I have loved how Herbert fans have been absolutely humbled in the last couple of days. Their quarterback can get injured too. Oh, their quarterback never really wins anything. And now they've noticed, I guess they didn't figure it out, but he has, 4 fourth quarter pick sixes, all losses, by the way. In the same amount of time, Tua only has one. And guess what? He brought his team back to win in that game. And, the stat came out this week. At no point in Justin Herbert's career has he ever had a winning record. And at every point, Tua has had a winning record in his career. Because I don't think you guys know this, but Tua has a winning record in the NFL, and Justin Herbert has a losing record in the NFL. And Justin has better talent around him than Tua. Up until this year, of course. Still has a better line than Tua's, but weapons, he's equaled or passed him now finally this year with weapons. So I'll give him that. And so it's been nice to see the Herbert people get seriously humbled because, unfortunately, we have video games and fantasy football to pollute the minds of football fans. And a lot of you out there, unfortunately, and especially the Herbert camp people, you don't really know what a quarterback looks like. You think it only looks one way. And quarterbacks look all kinds of ways. Tall and short, explosive arms, good arms. There's all kinds of quarterbacks. Athletic ones, non-athletic ones like Tom Brady, who's the greatest of all time and has no athleticism to him whatsoever. Dan Marino had zero athleticism to him back there. All he could do was slide him by a foot or two, and he's, one of the most deadly quarterbacks to ever play this damn game. So that's the problem with a lot of you Herbert people. And it's all right, listen, half of you are parrots, you're lazy, you're just repeating what somebody else says, you don't really think for yourselves. So half of you Herbert people, that's kind of what it is. You're just lazy football fans, and you're really repeating what somebody else says instead of actually doing your homework. And so this is what I love about what's happened the last couple of days, because the quarterback that you painted in your mind, half of you Herbert people, because you don't really know and understand the position, you just repeated what another idiot said that didn't know anything either, by the way, and then you're just repeating what they say about Tua also. But yet you don't look that one guy also wins and the other guy doesn't. One guy wins a championship, the other guy doesn't. One guy beats the other guy heads up. But, you overlook all of that because you're just enamored with the physical ability. Besides the physical ability, you need the cojones, you need the character, you need the discipline to be, and the smarts to be a great quarterback. The athleticism, there's lots of guys that have athleticism. I can name 100 quarterbacks that failed in the NFL that are 3 times more talented than Tua. But they're not the quarterback that Tua is. They weren't the quarterback that Frank Tarkenton was. They are not the quarterback that Drew Brees is. They're not the quarterback that Joe Montana is. Yet I can name quarterback after quarterback that's way more talented than all those guys. Way more talented than Bob Greasy. Being a championship quarterback takes a lot more than just athletic ability. And maybe some of you Herbert people got a wake-up call this week. Now you're finding out the real stats. Now you're maybe looking into the fact that he doesn't have a winning record anywhere. NFL, whatever, it's just, that's the way it is. So you look at it, maybe now you're understanding that there's more to quarterbacking than just looking like Vince Young, than looking like Ryan Leaf, than being able to throw it, 100 yards downfield, those kind of things. There's a lot more to it. And so I loved the humbling nature of what happened this week with a lot of you Herbert fans. Cheers. Gilbert Martinez, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tuanon says, so nice to watch a calm, informative show that isn't to ripping apart our QB1 like everyone out there is perfect at their job every day. Thank you, sir. We just call it like we see it, man. True Fin Fan 78. Tua was 5 overall, and Herbert was pick 6. LOL. And then he says, I stole that from you. LOL. Says True Fin Fan. Thank you for the super chats, my friend. You're always there. Brandon Wayne says, may sound like I'm brown-nosing Big O, but your analysis on Herbert is spot on. Stat king that hasn't proven anything in the win column. And that's what people are now, bringing. Who's this guy that keeps putting stripper? There's Are we ghosting his ass pretty soon here? Let's see. Yeah, you can ghost his ass already. He just did it again. I don't think Jacob understands this show. You come to participate and be a part of the show. You're not here to be dominating and posting some stupid message over and over and over again. You easily get blocked, Jacob. Now your ass can get lost. There you go. See, your stupidity is gone right away. Now you will no longer participate unless you want to go create another email, and you can do that. And then maybe you can act like a normal human being, and now you'll stay on the chat board. But if you want to act like an asshole, we'll block you, bro. We have the power. You don't, Jacob. Elena Cahill. Elena says, Herbert needs a hug before you kick him to the curb. He's a terrific talent, man. He's got all the potential to be a hell of a quarterback. That I'm not going to take away from him. I'm not going to sit here and, start say, oh, my God, he'll never be that and all that. But he's not that. And that's the problem. Too many of you, man, you've labeled this kid something he has never even shown. It's just a great talent. Physical ability, wow. That's where it ends. Nothing else about his resume says, wow. What stats? It's a lot more to the game than stats. That's why, as much as I love Joe Shad, I lost my shit with him on Friday. You're not getting away with it on my show here, and you're going to call somebody great, and you're going to put him right next to Pat Mahomes when you haven't done jack shit in this league. No, you know what? You want to tell me Joe Burrow? Well, brother, I saw him in the SEC. I saw him win a national title. And then I saw him take a team last year to the Super Bowl. I'll let you call him great because holy crap, he's accomplished a lot. Justin Herbert can't even make the playoffs. He never challenged a goddamn thing at Oregon. Was he ever taken down the SEC? Was he winning a national? I'm sorry, I must have missed it. When's Oregon doing anything? Did they win a national title or something? I must have missed that. Were they even close to a national title? I must have missed that. We're too quick to name this person the next LeBron and the next Michael and the next Kobe. And this is the next this guy and this is the next that guy. And they haven't accomplished anything. We do this all the time in our society. And even media members do it. And they should know better. You could call Pat Mahomes great. Don't you ever put Justin Herbert in the same goddamn sentence. Are you out of your mind? Okay? Have you lost your mind? And anybody that's on radio, writing, national, anybody that says Justin Herbert is great, you're a clown. Okay? You're a clown. Check yourself because you just wrecked yourself. And I've heard it not just from Joe and others. That is bullcrap. And that happens all the time here. We're too quick to anoint people with labels that they don't deserve. And that's a clown-ass move. So let's slow down before we give people labels. Let's wait till they actually earn it. Great performances are what Joe Burrow did for LSU, what he did last year for Cincinnati. Those are great performances. Justin Herbert doesn't have anything great except for talent. in his resume. And the problem is when you just look at the talent and that's how you measure it and you say, oh, it arrived. Yeah, didn't you watch Vince Young? Didn't you watch Ryan Leaf? Did you think that arrived too? Oh, and by the way, Ryan Leaf's game in the snow for Washington State, let me run this by you. His game in the snow, Ryan Leaf's game in the snow, that year, though a lot of you are too young, you may not know what I'm talking about. You older folks, you're going to know what I'm talking about in that year of the draft. That game, that one game, is better than any performance Justin Herbert has ever put up in his career, because that game meant more than any game Justin Herbert's been a part of. And he was the difference maker in that one. Hell, at Oregon, he was just part of a conservative offense. And with the Chargers, they've got a more open out offense, but now they're realizing, yeah, maybe you don't want to open up in the fourth quarter. Maybe that's why on third and 4 or 6 or whatever it was, or third and whatever it was, they ran the ball and they took it out of his hands. They didn't give it to the golden boy. So, yeah, I'm not going to allow anybody to, so if you hear it on radio locally, you hear anybody on QAM say that Justin Herbert is great, that's a clown-ass move right there. Okay? Any writer in town calls Justin Herbert great, that's a clown-ass move. Any fool on ESPN or Fox calls Justin Herbert great, that's a clown-ass move. Let's get that straight. And any of you out there call Justin Herbert great, you're a freaking idiot. You know nothing about football. Okay? When you want to learn about football, maybe, you know what? Listen to our show a little bit more. Maybe we'll teach you a little bit more clearly. Because if you think Justin Herbert's great, brother, you have very low standards to get to great. Meanwhile, the guy he was playing, or the guy that was drafted before him, he's actually done great things in college at the highest level, something that Justin Herbert hasn't done. What do we have here? Myles Gaskin, Eric Azuzkama, Skylar Thompson, Channing Tindall, Sethan Carter, and Hunter Long. Well, we kind of expected Sethan Carter to be out because if anything happens to Ingold, I worry because Sethan is your backup fullback. So that is a little concerning there. I want to say that. But they threw in Hunter Long also. So I'm just wondering.
Oh,
Do you know where I'm going, Sean?
well, I mean, I know Hunter Long did not make the trip. They said yesterday they left him home.
Right.
I remember that yesterday. So, and there was a name that is no longer on that list. That was on the list last week and is not on the list this week.
And speaking of Joe Shad and our conversation on Friday, I brought him up. I brought up Tanner Conner. Didn't I? Didn't I bring up Tanner Conner? I'm just saying. Are they unveiling a little speed at tight end today? Are they going to tell Chuck Clark and Marcus Williams at their safeties, hey, guys, yeah, you got to worry about Gesicki, Tanner Conner, Tyreek Hill, Waddle. Yeah, you got to worry about the speed on the outside, but we're going to keep you busy in the middle of the field with Gesicki, maybe a little Tanner Conner, maybe, Cedric Wilson. I am intrigued to see if the speed of Tanner Conner is going to be taking the field today as an experiment. I am intrigued by this kid. He's not great, but he's an intriguing talent because he's really smart. I'm not going to say he's great. No, I'm not going to do what so many national and local people are doing with Justin Herbert. Oh, he's great. Please. But I do. This is an interesting thing here. I am a little surprised with Azukama. I was wondering if maybe this is the week where they kind of use him with some end arounds but I'm thinking, okay, fade wise, you can do this with Tanner Conner. The thing that people don't know about Tanner Conner is he's a former wide receiver and he's playing tight end, but he's also a kid that plays he at least this is the way he views himself. He views himself like a physical guy. Like he looks forward to breaking tackles. He can run away from you, but he also doesn't mind trying to run through you. So he has a little physicality to him. And I'm just wondering if Tanner Conner is going to be displayed today out there. And he's not on the inactive list now. They've got 2 tight ends on the inactive list. Very interesting. Will we see Tanner Conner? Okay. Ohio John, thank you, my friend, for the love as always. Being aggressive with Brandon Jones on the blitz riskier with a QB like Jackson, or do you expect to see it just as much as we did in week 1? Oh, I expect them to attack him, Ohio John. And I'll get to that in a minute because that's how we open the hour with Lamar Jackson. I'll get to that. We'll get to that conversation. Ray says, howdy, the pathetic writer saying Herbert showed guts with the rib issue. Did he win? Hell no. And Tua with a broken hip. Good Lord, the hate for Tua gets sickening. It is. By the way, he played with broken ribs and a broken finger and also completed a 50-yard pass to Waddle when he's not healthy. His core is broken down because, the hip still isn't 100% at that point last year. He's got broken ribs and a fractured knuckle in his throwing hand. And, he threw a 50-yarder down a Waddle. But that's all right. He's not tough. Reggie Mole, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Let me see what else here. It all comes down to football is a team game and a quarterback that can play in a system and can be successful. Richard, don't try to bring common sense here, okay, sir? You're trying to bring intelligence. You're trying to bring common sense to this, conversation. We can't do that here. There's no common sense. No, that's not the way it's done. Come on. William says, Connor is a Debo-style player in McDaniel's offense, versatile. Not only is he Debo-like, but he has a little Kittle in him. Tanner Conner kind of thinks. I don't know if he can be anything like George Kittle because nobody's like George Kittle, but he has that mentality that he is going to go all out, dude. All out. And he's going to do whatever it takes to try to get the play done. Let me tell you something. If they hit on Tanner Conner and you start watching how they can draft and how they can find people that are undrafted, I'm dying to watch this experiment of Tanner Conner. Because, the Kohu stuff is going on and you're like, okay, Trill Williams was on his way. You found Nick Needham. You're like, what the hell is going on here, dude? You guys can find guys out of nowhere right now. That's pretty damn cool. Even Myles Gaskin, who's not undrafted, but he's a 7th rounder. And the young man has more than justified that draft pick at the 7th round. It's impressive. So I've been kind of wondering about Tanner Conner this week. And remember, they kept him on the roster. He missed half a training camp. They didn't bother to put him on the practice squad. They mentioned that people called for him. So they've kept him on the 53. If they kept him on the 53, guess whose call that is, ladies and gentlemen? That's Mike McDaniel. So McDaniel must see something in this kid that he says, I can use him. And that's why I'm dying to find out. Kate Winslet rushed to the hospital after an injury on the set. Hope she's all right. Andy Cornell fins up from Scotland. Yeah, baby. I love it, Andy. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for listening to us all the way in Scotland and watching us out there, man. That is very kind of you, man. I love it. No matter what QB is without an O-line, they won't do anything. Why do we keep naming players on this offense, good or bad, with this horrific O-line? Crew change. I'm not sure if you watched the game last week. He had time to pass a lot of times. The run offense was terrible, but their pass protection was actually pretty decent. I disagree with you. It was better than he was running for his life for 2 years. He had some time to pass the ball last week. He was rushed. There were some times, but not nearly like it's been in the past. So I disagree with you. The line played better. And I'm wondering if there's going to be some wrinkles today too. Shula was successful because of the undrafted players, and back then there was 12 rounds. Greer doesn't get enough credit for finding these UDFA players. No, William, they're too busy slamming Greer and firing him and McKenzie and Marvin Allen. And I keep telling everybody, the Dolphins, I've been saying it for a couple of years now, the Dolphins will prove to have one of the best front offices in the NFL. You'll see. But I get it. We're in this microwave society, William. People don't have patience. They don't give other people time to grow and give them a realistic, or sometimes we're so quick, we name them great before they even are good. Wow. What a concept. It's crazy. Vader's daddy says Finns should be able to hit the corners this week. Great interior line, but questionable on the edge with Baltimore. Tell you this, I was thinking, and I'm glad you brought that up. Kind of interesting. I was looking at this. Calais Campbell's 36 years old and Justin Houston is 33 years old. Now, age is not everything. There are people that age gracefully, and Calais Campbell can still be an impactful player. But is he the same player that he was 4 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago? Probably not. And Justin Houston is definitely not the player that he was with the Kansas City Chiefs. We can all agree on that one, right? Calais has probably aged a little better. So they don't necessarily have incredible pass rushers. And when you talk about the edges, you got a lot of speed coming out of the backfield with Mostert and Chase. So you can get past that edge pretty quickly. Now, Patrick Queen and the boys, they got some linebackers. I like Patrick Queen, by the way. He is a good linebacker. He's a really good player. LSU, I believe, is where he comes from. They got a really nice defense. Don't get me wrong. But when I look at those pass rushers, I think there are things that you could take advantage of with those kind of guys. And to me, that is not necessarily a strength of their team. I don't believe that they have a great pass rusher, and I'm not sure if they're a great pass rushing team. It's still early in the season. I got to see this thing develop a little bit more. But I think that you will have time. And here's the thing that I want to also let's segue into this now. Sean Stanley started off the show with a soundbite from Lamar Thomas talking about the zero blitz and that, they feel they've got an answer for that. Well, their receiving core took a hit. They're not as good as they were last year with Hollywood Brown. Duvernay is a nice receiver. He's a backup. He's a number 3 or number 4, really, and you're starting him. Special teamer, part-time receiver. The Jets are a bad team, and I know he had his play last week. That you cannot what they did against the Jets cannot even come close to the Dolphin defense. Okay? Their secondary is nowhere near the Dolphins secondary. I'm sorry. Their pass rush doesn't even come close to the Dolphins pass rush. All right? So it's the success they had last week is very deceiving compared to Miami. And Lamar will get tested once again. Josh Boyer and Mike McDaniel have aggressive natures to them. They're not going to play conservative. They're not going to sit back and wait for opportunities. They will create opportunities. So they're going to attack Lamar. And you mean to tell me your receiving core is going to pick up all of that? And I know you're going to hit me with Mark Andrews and Boyle, the backup tight end, the former Colt, is there. He's a decent tight end also. So the middle of the field, you're going to have to work it. Well, guess what? Maybe that's why Nick Needham might end up still playing on the outside, because you got more athleticism with Kohu. So put him on the inside. You saw what he did with the tight end Hunter Henry last week, correct? Well, now you've got Eric Rowe. You've got what's it called? Damn it, I'm forgetting the Oregon safety. Javon Holland, and you've got Kohu. So you've got guys that can cover these tight ends and make his life a little bit more, of a pain in the ass. I could argue with you and tell you Holland with another year of experience, and he looks like a better player now. Eric Rowe is playing, and I've got Kohu. I can say they're better right now at covering those tight ends. And so I think you're going to attack this guy. And I don't believe he's adjusted to it. I don't think the offseason he had that he's going to be able to pick up the zero blitz. I think it's a bunch of crap. I think he thinks he's going to run his way out of it, which maybe he does, because if there's one guy, he's not going to pass his way out of this, okay? He will have to run his way out of this. And he's liable of doing that because he's that gifted. But I don't see him beating the Dolphins with his arm. In fact, I don't see him beating the Dolphins today, period. But they're going to attack him. Now, on the flip side, you mentioned Calais Campbell. You mentioned Justin Houston. You mentioned their pass rush. We talked about it, a little older. I'm sorry. I think Tua Tagovailoa has been trained the last 2 years on pass rush and getting rid of the football quickly. And nobody got rid of the ball quicker than Tua Tagovailoa last year. Fastest in the NFL making a decision. Today, you got to do the same thing. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Are you ready for this? Did you know the Miami Dolphins are better suited to do that this year than they were last year and the year before? Because they've got a guy named Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, which they didn't have 2 years ago. Last year, they only had Waddle. And yet he still got rid of the ball faster than anybody else. So you tell me, you're going to stay with those two guys? No. They're going to create separation. You're going to see a lot of motion today. Expect a lot of motion today. You didn't see as much last week. You're going to see more this week. Why? Because the Ravens are going to try to attack also. They've got an aggressive nature to them. And how do you counter that? With an aggressive offense. And so there's going to be a quick passing game. The running backs are going to be a part of it. They're better suited with Chase and Mostert now. When you pass rush them, they can dump it off to guys that are really, really fast. Oh, and with the pass rush, you now have an Alec Ingold back there to pick up the extra blitzer at times. Miami is actually better suited for these situations than they have been in the past. That's what people don't realize. They just keep on with the Tua hate. So that's the way they roll. So they think that he can't do this, when that's all he's done throughout his career with the Dolphins. He's had to get rid of the ball quickly because he has no line. Now, his line, to go against the guy that sent in the text, his line actually gave him more time last week to pass. And now his offense and his offensive coordinator, he used to have coordinator gives him a better opportunity to counter all of that than he ever has. So Tua should be better suited and better prepared for these kind of moments. On the road, loud, disruptive, all of that stuff. He should be better suited because he has a better offense and he has way better offensive coaches there also at the same time. How do you like them apples? Huh? How do you like them apples?
2 minutes ago, Joe Sad sends out a tweet. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
As for Tanner Connor, Big O's show said he thought he would be active this week, so he was right on that. We'll have to wait to find out to see if he's right when he says Tua will have a better career than Justin Herbert. Hashtag Miami Dolphins.
I can't, what can I tell you, dude? Just listen to the show. And we tell you things that nobody else can tell you. That's all. Nobody tells you that Flo's going to get fired in the middle of a winning streak. Right here. Nobody 4 years ago writes, fire Gase and Tannenbaum and hire Chris Greer as the general manager. It's only one place that does these kind of things. Yes, sir.
A couple more NFL tidbits.
Yes.
The Brownie the Elf makes his debut against the Jets today. They showed a picture of the midfield logo. The Steelers take on the Patriots. So the first time Brian Flores and Bill Belichick will see each other since the infamous text scandal.
Will they shake hands?
It's going to be interesting, huh? And then also Tyrod Taylor is now suing the Chargers doctor, which is the same doctor handling Justin Herbert's rib injury.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And those doctors over there with the Chargers, they are so good with needles. I hope Justin Herbert has Kevlar on his lungs. That's all I got to say. I hope he has Kevlar on his lungs. We like to make a wager or two on this show. Well, BetUS, of course, a proud sponsor of our program. They're back for their 28th year here for NFL action. You got to love that. 28 years. That's pretty strong. We're completing our 33rd year. We've been in the business 32. We're completing 33. So we've been in the business a little longer than BetUS. But you can count on us. You can count on BetUS. They offer the industry's biggest sign-up bonuses up to 200%. And BetUS has all your favorite leagues, including the NFL, NBA, MLB, and they offer everything, including live betting, MMA, golf, horses, esports, all kinds of crazy bets. And I love the crazy bets. BetUS also has hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots with live dealers, and they're waiting for you at the tables. BetUS is a sports book with integrity and longevity, and you know that you're going to get paid, baby. That's what it's all about, getting paid. And if you've been on our streak, on our A Lenny lockdown streak, you've been getting paid. Go to BetUS. That's betus.com. Join now. Get 200% in bonuses with your promo code Big O. Nobody in the industry gets you better discounts than BetUS. Again, join now and mention Big O, and you get up to 200% in bonuses on your first deposit. Nobody beats that. Head to betus.com and join today. That's BetUS, where the games begin. I was wondering about this. And Andres says, saludos from the Dominican Republic. I hope you guys be safe out there with the storm and everything, man. What's it called? I was wondering about this. After the Herbert week, right? You got your buddy Dolphin fan that he just every chance he or she tells you, oh, I wish we would have had Herbert, this, that, right? Every time, right? And you're like, dude, relax already. Stop it already. We got Tua. He's doing great. Leave him alone, bro. You got that buddy of yours, right? This week, your buddy has been so quiet, right? Because now you're coming back at your buddy and say, hey, how's your choker, huh? I don't see Tua choking like that in the fourth quarter all the time like your guy. We got so much ammunition now. You know what I'm saying? It's hilarious. Like, hey, your guy lost to Tua head-to-head. Your guy doesn't get to the playoffs, so what's the big deal? Your guy chokes in the fourth quarter, all that kind of stuff. So now I'm wondering, these so-called Dolphin fans that cry a river for Justin Herbert, you think those bastards are all they all got a Tua doll right now and they're just like poking it right now? Is that what they're doing? Because that's what it seems like to me. I got a buddy of mine, too, that cries about Herbert all the time, and my Lord, have I roasted him for days now. I mean, I send him choking memes all over the place now. He's getting them from me at least 4, 5, 6 times a day. And he can't say anything. No Herbert fan can say anything. Why? Because it's a fact. You choke, dude. You're a choker. You're a yellow belly. As I said on Friday on the show, and even I think I posted it on Twitter and everything on Thursday, it's awesome that Justin Herbert wears yellow pants. You can't tell when he urinates himself. And he does it all the time in the fourth quarter. But those Justin Herbert fans, they've got a voodoo doll right now. They're poking the hell out of that voodoo doll. They can't stand the fact that Tua looks better than him right now, that Tua doesn't choke. In fact, those people are probably rooting against Tua today. They say they're Dolphins fans, but they're rooting against Tua. Think about that. That's how bad it is for some of those folks. They've made the mistake of labeling Herbert the second coming and all that kind of stuff. Oh, my God, there's a bot. There's a bot. Eliminate that bot. Anyway, so I'm just saying, it's kind of funny. They've got that voodoo doll, and they're just poking the hell out of it. Yeah, Sean, what do you got for me?
We got attacked by NFL Live TV.
Well, they know where to go. They know that, this is where you got to go. This is where the real fans are at. This is where the people go for the information. We want information. Who are you? You are the new number 2. I am not a number. I am a free man. I lost about 95% of you. Let's see. You're lucky to have lived the time my Dolphins won Super Bowls. I was born in 78 and have nothing but heartache since 84. I mean, we've had some good years in the 80s and some in the early 90s. It wasn't so terrible. It wasn't a championship, but it wasn't so terrible. I mean, the 80s and the very early 90s wasn't that bad, okay? It was pretty good. It was fun. It wasn't a championship, but it was fun. Hey, man, listen, we can't act like that either. So we're going to say that the Heat have only given us 3 good seasons? No, right? The Heat, Riley's been here for 25, and 20 of them have been super entertaining. 21 or something. I don't know. Very few have been not entertaining. And look, they're not a favorite to win this year, but I think they're still going to have a hell of a year, and it's going to be entertaining as hell, and they're going to work their asses off, and they're going to surprise people. And, I'm going to love watching the Heat this year. I know deep down inside they're not a championship team, but they're a hell of a team. We got to be appreciative too when, we do have some good teams and good moments. It can't be all about just a championship. Of course, that's what you want to win, but we have to appreciate people when they do bring us some damn good seasons and entertainment. Not everybody can win, but I'm appreciative
hey, man, listen, we've had a lot of bad moments. And the 80s and the early 90s, there were a lot of good moments, a lot of entertaining stuff that went on. I'm very grateful for the Marino years. It sucks that he didn't win a championship, but I'm incredibly grateful as a Dolphins fan that I was able to experience that. So I'm not ever going to treat it like that. That's not fair either. That's not right. IT Respect says, I want Tua to go 200 yards with a W just to get on the haters' nerves. Big O, we are going to Publix. You are. All right, cool. Get me some almonds. Get me, let's see, some cherries. Need a little water. All right. Fiji preferred. It's my favorite one. And let's see, what else should we get? You know what? A 6-pack of Modelo. There we go. William, thank you for the love, baby, on the super chat. Says, Big O, we have speed at receiver, backfield tight ends, and a quick decision QB. Pick your poison. Defensively, corners blitz to force Jackson to step up and either throw faster than he wants to and keep him from rolling out. Exactly. And a disciplined pass rush where you're also plugging all the gaps so he can't escape. Because that was the magic of what they did last year. Not only did they blitz him, Will, but they blitzed him with a discipline that they corralled his ass. You know, it's like watching a cowboy come around that cow and rope it and then get off and tie it up real quick, and it ends up, you know, all the hoofs are all tied up and all that, and you're like, holy crap, that dude did it like in 3 seconds. You know, that kind of stuff. That's what they did to his ass. They corralled him like they do cattle that gets away from a cowboy. That's it. So they got to have that rope the entire time on that right there. All right, 1 hour down. We got one more to go. Hour number 2 is next. I do have to give you my A. Lenny Locksmith lockdown pick. I already gave you the Dolphins on Friday. I've got another pick for today on Sunday. We've got some things I want to talk about with Lamar. I got a couple other things that I want to get into Dolphins-wise that could be interesting. Some NFL news, too. So we've got all of that in hour number 2. Sean Stanley, by the way, mastering this program like he does every single day here on the show. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. Let's take a quick break. If you want to get in, by the way, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, if your business wants to be a part of our platform, you can reach out to our business line at 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. That's just a business line, not a request line, not to talk sports. Only sales is for that, okay? That's it. That's what that is, a business line, okay? All right, let's take a break. Give us a couple minutes. Hour number 2 is next.
You're listening to the home for hardcore Miami Dolphins coverage. This is the Miami Dolphins Pregame Show with Orlando Alzugaray on the Sports Talk 305 network.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
Locked in to the only platform truly dedicated to South Florida sports. This is the Miami Dolphins Pregame Show on the Sports Talk 305 network. Here's your host, Orlando Alzugaray.
All right. Yes, sir. All right. Zach Salzman, by the way, from Sloman's, just showed me a picture. He is there with the family in Baltimore. So the Slomans family, yeah, baby. There we go. We've got a Alarmo in the stand, so you know we're gonna win. We need to line up like 5 Alarmos. That would be really good. 5 Alarmos on the line would give Tua all the time in the world, which would be a beautiful thing. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Besides, of course, the super chat. But the difference in Cash App and Venmo is the show gets 100% of the donations. On super chat, well, YouTube takes 30%. Like they don't make enough. Anyway, by the way, got to tell you a little bit about Cutter's Edge, a proud sponsor of our show. You saw Will there. He's always watching, big supporter of our program. Did a marvelous job of giving our home an absolute facelift, which is just absolutely awesome. And our home looks completely different. Remember, when you change the landscape and you improve the landscape of your home, you also improve the value. And not only that, now I can go to my backyard and relax and kick back. Still got to fix the wall. I need a little privacy, but that's hopefully coming very soon. But taking the dogs out, we added artificial turf to the back, and it is the most convenient thing if you have dogs. 1, you don't have to cut grass. 2, they don't eat grass. 3, they don't destroy the grass. And by the way, the cleanup is so easy. It's a beautiful thing. This is why I'm telling you, check it out. Call the great people at Cutter's Edge, 954-472-0622. Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. They service all throughout South Florida. They've got tons of trucks. You call Will, you call Mike, you tell them that Big O sent you, and we're still in storm season. Or even if it's not the storm season, but you're dealing with trees and you've got to trim them. Come on, folks. Don't get on those ladders. Don't get on the roof. Don't do the dangerous stuff. Hire someone that is insured, by the way, fully insured. Do not hire anybody that go to work in your home that is not insured, because if they get injured, they can sue you. Well, guess what? Cutter's Edge is fully insured. So you are safe, you are protected, and so will your home after they're done with it. So call them, 954-472-0622, for landscaping that is magnificent and changes the face of your home and improves the value. You call cuttersedgepro.com, 954-472-0622. All right. So Ronnie Stanley is out. Patrick McCarry will be the left tackle. So Ingram and the boys, Agba and the boys, let's go. Let's get after them. You know, Van Ginkel probably will get a little more playing time today too, because they're easing him back into the mix. So I really love how all of this is kind of coming together. It's interesting the way some of us look at it, and then some of us view what's going on today. I have some of my buddies that are kind of nervous, right? And I get it. They never win in Baltimore. Well, they never used to beat Baltimore, and then they beat their asses last year. So maybe the tide has turned. And that's what I was trying to tell my friend. Well, dude, yeah, they were always kicking their ass here too. And guess what? Last year they kicked their ass. So why can't it change? I'm sorry. And he's like, well, yeah, maybe. And I go, yeah, no, what do you mean maybe? Hell yeah, it can change. And I started explaining the talent that Miami has and the talent that Baltimore has. And you start to look at it, and it's Miami is not going to go into a lot of games this year where they're absolutely and totally outmatched. They have a pretty damn good team. I know. They've got the offensive line is still something that is a work in progress. I get all of that. But what they have on defense can give problems to a lot of teams. The weapons they have on offense and the coaching, this can only get better. So it's time for you to start having a little more confidence. And I know it's dangerous. Okay? I know it's dangerous. But I had some of you that were nervous about the Patriots game. And I was never nervous about that Patriot game. And guess what? When that game was played, you were never nervous. So to me, maybe things have maybe the page has turned. Maybe it's really more about the Dolphins now becoming a really good franchise, and their trajectory is this way, and maybe Baltimore is kind of middling. Because I don't see them better on offense from last year. And they're going into this game. There is no Hollywood Brown. Bateman's a nice receiver. Duvernay's a guy with some speed, a special teamer that can a backup receiver. J.K. Dobbins is out. I don't see that this is such a team that I could be scared of. And if you're able to corral Lamar the way you did last year, then why wouldn't you feel confident about the game today? Give yourselves a chance to enjoy what's going on. Give yourselves a chance to build a little confidence with your team. Enjoy the moment. That's the other thing about you Herbert people. My God, you're so worried about having another quarterback, Watson, Herbert, whatever. You're not even supporting the guy you currently have, who, by the way, deserves your support. Good dude, wants to win, works hard, character guy. You know, I think that the Dolphin Nation should start to feel better about their team. Maybe it'll take a couple weeks, and maybe we'll get the cocky Dolphin fan will show up in a couple weeks after they've had some success, and maybe they end up this run 2-2, 3-1, and maybe people feel better in week 5 or 6. Like, okay, no, man, they're pretty good. And I think a win today would go far because you start at home, and part of, remember what I'm telling you with the Ravens about maybe things are changing. Have they not changed with the Patriots? Let me ask you something now. Do you fear the Patriots anymore? I bet that answer is 95% from Dolphin fans. No. You probably needed this last win last week to kind of, okay, no, this isn't an aberration. Yeah, no, they own the Patriots. It's 4 in a row. So if that's changed, how come this can't change? Think about that. And I believe it has. I believe we're in that direction, that things have changed and we're going in a positive direction, and they're getting better. I'm told tons of teal and orange here, and they're shocked. So the Slomans family, 1-800-ALARM-ME, by the way, is they're in Baltimore, and apparently That's nice, right? Because when you go to the Dolphins Stadium and you see all those Ravens jerseys and you're like, so it's nice to kind of hand it back to them a little bit. I like that. I like that a lot. That's pretty cool. 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that, my friends, is a 24-hour talk show on Twitter. It is constantly going on, which is a beautiful thing. Let me check out the Welt and Rayom text line. Says, damn, I can't watch these morning shows. Just saw a segment with Mortensen where he said unnamed people keep telling him they doubt Tua can do it. And very next topic, those same scouts are telling him they don't like the support Mac is getting in New England. I'm not making this up. I can send it to you. But at this point, it has to be something else. The hate for the kid is insane. It's just, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous how you give up on somebody when you haven't even given them a chance. Let's see, what else do we have going on in the world of sports? So that's a fantasy question. I'm not going to get into fantasy now. We are not doing we do fantasies on Mondays and Fridays at noon. Okay, that's the time. Yes, Sean.
I have a question for you because earlier this week you had a segment where you asked, is Bill Belichick losing his luster?
Yes.
Listen to this. An unnamed Patriots player came out and said sometimes they have no idea what they're doing on offense. Nothing usually ever gets out in New England. And
right.
Now, again, this is some of the luster that we were talking about.
That's what I said. The shine is coming off Belichick. He'll be labeled the great coach, but he can't be labeled the GOAT unless he has significant success outside of Brady. And for those of you, by the way, that missed that conversation, you can go back and listen to it. Everything is always podcasted, segmented, rants and interviews and all that. Nobody does better than Sean at breaking all that down. But as I explained, Shula did everything, got to the big games, won or lost, but got to the big games with Marino, with Woodstock, with Greasy, and with Unitas. Joe Gibbs won it 3 times with 3 different quarterbacks. Bill Walsh, built 2 teams, with Steve Young. It ended up becoming his assistant that kind of pulled a Barry Switzer, but that was basically Walsh's team that won with Steve Young. And guys like, let's see, who else? The great coaches, they're able to have success with multiple players and deep success. Pat Riley got to the final, sure, with Magic and company, but he also got there with the Knicks and he got there with the Heat. And so he did it multiple ways. Phil Jackson, they gave him great talent in both stops. And he won it all with Chicago. But in L.A., what people don't realize is he took the exact same team that Del Harris could not get over the top. The following year, he got it over the top. So he must know something. Must not have pressure, push the right buttons. So for me, if you're a great coach, you're going to show me with different sets of players how you're a great coach. If you're a one-timer, well, then, I get it, John Gruden. You know what I'm saying? I get it. That's who you are. You're a one-timer. But the really special ones, they have success with all kinds of teams. And they show you. And that's not what I've seen with Belichick so far. He hasn't done anything without Brady. And Brady went and won a title in Tampa. That made him look really, really bad. Those are the facts. So, let's see. Big O, at what point did you turn? I was never a Tannehill guy, John. Never a Tannehill guy. I never believed in him. Never believed in him from day one because he was a project. A lot of the guys, a lot of my scouts told me that he was not worth the first rounder. If anything, you take him in the second or third rounds as a project, but he was not worth the first rounder because he lacked the natural instincts. And sure enough, they were 1,000% right. And I kind of stuck by my guns with Tannehill from the get-go. I was never a Tannehill guy. I constantly showed how he never had ball placement. He got people injured. He couldn't read defenses the right way. He had no pocket presence. So it's different. You know, I never saw that guy really. You can't be, they can't force you into another position in college. That's unheard of. Once you move a quarterback to another position, his career is over as a quarterback. If they moved you, it's because that's the ultimate insult. You're not very good if they move you out of quarterback to another position. You're not. Sorry. That's as disrespectful as it gets. So once you do that, you already told me what you think of him as a quarterback. Because when they're really good quarterbacks, you wouldn't risk turning him into a receiver. What are you, stupid? Well, Mahomes, you're going to sit an extra year. We're going to make you a receiver. Hey, Joe, you're not going to play this year. Maybe you'll play in another year, but Joe, we need an extra wide receiver. Go ahead, Burrow, line up. Let's go. Line it up. Come on, man. Big O, also opposing head coaches must account for the Finns' offense even more because now they have a more competent coaching staff, and I'm sure the strategy to stop them is more difficult now. Yeah, no, I mentioned that they have a real coaching staff. J-Town says 600 watching and only 150 likes. Let's go. Please, let's go. That like button is so important. It really is, folks. We should have 600 likes right now, at least. You know what I'm saying? In fact, with the rotation of people, I bet if everybody hit the like button, I bet we could get 666. I bet if everybody right now, let's have some fun. All the people watching right now, hit the like button. And what's the number right now? I bet if everybody hit it, we'd go way over 600. We'll go to the number of the beast in honor of Iron Maiden, and we'll go to 666. We have 204 right now. Okay? Come on. Everybody hit it. 220. That's big climbing, bro. Big climb. Everybody. Let's go. Everybody hit it, and I bet we get to 666. Ooh, 227. I remember that show. Jackie O was on that show, wasn't she? 239. Let's go. All 600. Smash that like button. I bet you we get 666, which would be kind of funny if we actually do it. Come on. Let's go. Hit it. 253. Look at that. Let's go. I love it, man. You guys are doing it. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. That gets the algorithms going. It tells other Dolphin fans, hey, we've got the program for the Dolphin Nation worldwide. We got people watching in Colombia and Portugal. We've got them watching out in Europe. We've got them watching in Puerto Rico. Please be safe, our Puerto Rican friends out there. Bless you all, man, with the storm. We've got them all over the place. Let's go. Hit that like button. 296. Look at that. We're almost halfway there. Come on. Crank it, baby. Love it. Let's see. I was going to hit the like button until you started talking about 666. You're like, come on, bro. Have a little fun. Jesus. What's wrong with you people? You take everything literal. Come on, man. What do you think? Beelzebub is here or something? Relax, dude. Yeah, Sean.
Some more little tidbits. Trey Lance, last week he played in a monsoon. Today he'll be playing in rain with 15 to 20 mile an hour winds. So apparently somebody doesn't want Trey Lance to succeed. I'm just saying. And then also today. Oh, go ahead.
Me.
Okay.
Me.
Right.
I want the Dolphins to get a better draft pick.
That's
yeah,
true.
I don't want Trey Lance to succeed. I want the 49ers to lose every damn game out there.
It's looking that way. They may have to bench Trey Lance to get good weather. Also, Jay Glazer's reporting Jameis Winston playing today with 4 fractures in his back. Doesn't seem too safe.
Hey,
Safety, but hey. Okay.
Let me hurry up here because I already did it, so it doesn't matter. But let me see. Let me make sure that we like to do something every day here on the show. A. Lenny Locksmith, the lockdown segment, and our lockdown segment. Let's do that right about now.
Time to lock it down. The Lockdown is brought to you by ALennyLocksmith.com. Services in South Florida from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, ALennyLocksmith.com locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Here's the Big O to tell you what needs to be locked down.
I already actually put in my bet for this. Thank you, BetUS. I got the Bucks and the Saints, and I ended up getting Bucks minus 2.5. Now this news comes out, it goes up to 3 right now. I'm looking at it right now as it is. Bucks are favored by 3 at New Orleans. They have very little success in New Orleans. Now you heard about Jameis Winston. They really haven't been lighting it up on offense. I like the Bucks in this game. I like the Bucks to win by a touchdown. But I took advantage of the 2.5 and I laid it already, but it's up to 3 now. But let me tell you something. I'd still lay the 3 because I think they're going to win by a touchdown. So for me, this is one that caught my eye because I know that Brady's been stifled by that defense many times over, but I like their offense overall. And right now, I'm not really convinced that New Orleans offensively is where they need to be and to win this game. And if he's playing with fractures in his ribs, that is going to limit you and limit what your mobility is and your throwing. And that's just kind of going to get in the way. And you just told the Tampa Bay Bucks, hey, hit me in the ribs. So that's going to happen. I'm going Bucks minus 3. Yes, sir.
It's his back.
Broken back or ribs?
Is a fracture in his back.
Oh, God. He's playing with a fracture in his back?
4 fractures in his back.
Okay. All right. Lay the points, bro. I'm not a financial advisor. Just a guy that loves crypto and loves to bet. That's all I am. That's all I'm saying. But I am going Bucks minus 3. I'll lay the extra half point on this one here. Unfortunately, I got it at 2.5, so I win on there. Well, maybe I win. We'll see. But that is our lockdown segment. And by the way, folks, you get locked out of your car, you get locked out of your home, you call ALennyLocksmith.com. Yes, sir. Go to the website, ALennyLocksmith.com. Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, all the way up to Port St. Lucie. And our friends in Tampa and Orlando, we have offices there also in Tampa and Orlando. And Phoenix, Arizona, we've got an office there, A. Lenny Locksmith. So if you get locked out of your home, locked out of your car, they will program those car keys. Any kind of locks you need, they will take care of you. A. Lenny Locksmith. And tell them that Big O sent you wherever you call them, throughout Florida or over in Arizona. Big O, perhaps not a financial advisor, more of a financial planner. No, don't say that. No. Francisco Verdugo, saludos, Big O, desde Sonora, Mexico, here with a beer and carne asada to see the game. What a combination, a little carne asada. I like it. I never liked Tannenbaum. That guy was locked on a receiver from the huddle, And, you can blow a train horn in his ear and he wouldn't hear it. No pocket presence. No, you're right. None whatsoever. Lamar only ran for 17 yards last week. Mob rule, I don't count that game last week at all. The Jets are a terrible franchise. They're a terrible team. They're not impressive on defense. They're not impressive on offense. There's nothing. The only impressive thing that the Jets have is the quarterback's mom. That's it. That's the only impressive thing that the Jets have. Okay? The quarterback's mom. That's all. Outside of that, I'm really not impressed with anything that the Jets have. That's it. Brian Walters, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Jamie Zorri out in San Jose says, don't know if you mentioned this already, but Noah Igbenogany is not on the inactive list. How much do you think he will play? I don't know. I with Kohu playing and Crossan, no. I don't think he'll end up playing much. There's no reason to play him right now. He's more of an insurance policy than anything else if somebody gets banged up. But at the moment, you have more than enough corners. If somebody gets injured, then I can see them, okay, well, Keon got injured or Kohu got injured or, God forbid, X or whatever. Then I can see them, need him, whatever. Then they've got to use him. But right now, I think it's because they have the injuries with the tight ends and all that. They keep those guys. They had to keep them active, basically. But I don't know if they're really going to use him much. Okay. Big O, do you see the Dolphins trading Bridgewater? Maybe later on in the season if somebody needs him. Yeah. I mean, the Cowboys right now aren't going to do it, so I don't know. But if somebody else gets an injury closer to the deadline and they feel good about Skyler and Tua's playing really, really well, I could see them trying to, pick up a pick for Bridgewater. Yeah, for sure. They got to try to make up for the picks that the idiot owners lost for the team. God, I'm so pissed at those guys. Holy crap, bro. You're supposed to be the owner of the football team. You're supposed to be the custodian. You're supposed to take care of the team, not help bury them. We got to 344 likes. We have 587 people chatting on the chat board there. Come on. Come on. And there are others probably watching, right? Not on the chat board because you got to obviously subscribe to chat. But come on, man, hit that like button. Let's go. Hit that like button. Get us over 600. Okay? Get us over 600. Let's go. Let's rock it. Let's see. Can we package Gesicki, Bridgewater, and Eichenberg for a center, then kick Connor Williams back out to left guard? My rule, you don't really get it, right? You really don't understand it, do you? That's a terrible, terrible suggestion on your part. It's harder to find a center than a guard, my brother. That would be stupid. And nobody has a center to give you, Mob Rule, which is another really dumb suggestion. Like somebody's going to give you a center right now. Who the hell has a great center that you're going to give 3 players up? You're giving up a starting tight end in Gesicki, a backup rotational player in Eichenberg, and a backup quarterback, which, by the way, they're all valuable. And who has a great center just sitting there? Oh, yeah, no, hey, dude, yeah, no, I just checked the cupboard. There's one here. We'll give it to you. Yeah, no, give us those players. And it's hard cap money from Gesicki. And you've got to pay Bridgewater his backup money. The problem with fans is sometimes you guys think this is a game and it's fantasy, and you throw stuff out there that fiscally it doesn't make any sense. There's no realism to it whatsoever. And the worst part for fans like Mob Rule, and I love you, Mob Rule, you're always watching, but like anybody, if you say something completely out of line, I don't give a shit who you are. I'm going to tell you, dude, you're out of line. You're out of your mind. And if you sit back and think about it, none of what you said makes sense. Everything that you said is impossible for it to happen. Okay? Cap-wise, all kinds of reasons why. You're trading so much money one way that you're not getting anything in return in that direction. Because what's a good center going to cost you? $6, $7, $8 million? That's not even Gesicki's money. And you want to throw a backup quarterback and a former, what is Eichenberg? A second-round pick, I believe, right? Come on, dude. My rule, bro. You gotta think before you say stuff. And on this show, you better think before you say stuff because your ass is going to get called out if I see it. I mean, seriously, dude. Either drop the dope, stop drinking alcohol, get more sleep. I don't know what it is, but you're certainly not thinking straight, my man. Okay? And the worst part is that, Mob, you might mention it to two of your boys, and all three of you idiots will talk about something for the next half hour that makes no sense and would never happen. But in your eyes, you guys are going off like, yeah, no, it's a possibility. Yeah, crack is whack. That is about a crack statement that Mob Rule made. Big O, what is your opinion on the all-22 film for last week's game showing wide receivers wide open that Tua missed? And have you watched other quarterbacks? Everybody misses receivers, my man. You know, Sean Cooper, this is the asinine thing that's gone on with Tua. And by the way, that's what I loved about Thursday. So Tua is the only one that underthrows passes. Did you watch Thursday night? Mahomes threw a bunch of underthrown passes and Herbert. Oh, by the way, Mahomes almost intercepted, just like Tua. Wow. It doesn't only happen to Tua. Oh, so what, you think, Sean, that Tua is the only one that misses wide receivers? You think other quarterbacks don't miss wide receivers? You think other quarterbacks don't underthrow people? You think other quarterbacks don't take sacks when they're not supposed to? Do you think other quarterbacks, don't make mistakes too? The microscope that people are putting this kid under is ridiculous. He won the game. He threw the money play, 4th and 7. He threw for 270 yards with no running game. He played a really good defense and won, and the game was never in doubt. What the hell is there to complain about? Don't get it, man. Don't get it. I really don't understand what the hell is going on with Tua and everybody else. And Sean Cooper is a perfect example. It's the same stupid ass stuff that goes on. People like Sean Cooper think that Tua is the only one that's, missed a receiver. Everybody misses receivers. Nobody's perfect. And if you expect Tua to be perfect, then you know what? You're going to be disappointed for the rest of your life. You might as well not watch. Big O, let's hope you talk about Mostert sees more touches. I don't care. Mostert, Chase, whatever, bro. Just let's hope they can run the damn ball. That's really what I would like to see. I would like to see them run the ball with you, bro. I don't care if it's Mostert. I don't care if it's Chase. I don't care if it's Alec Ingold. I don't care if you have to bring in Gaskin. Okay? I want to see those 5 dudes up front block and open up some holes and make life easier for the passing game. Because it's a lot harder to win in the passing game if you can't run the ball. And that makes it so much more difficult. By the way, we're over 400 likes now. And we're at 602 watching. So we're closing the gap there. Thank you. Really appreciate all of you out there smashing the like button. That is very, very cool. We still have a hell of a shot. We can go way over 600 because some of the people that already hit the like button are probably not even watching anymore. And so we could easily get to 600. So if you can, keep smashing that like button, man. Let's get it over 600. Ma Brule is a longtime Dolphin fan. He just wants to win, Big O. I know that. I love Ma Brule, but I got to straighten him out. I got to bring him to the reality of, dude, that doesn't make any sense. None of it. And Connor is beautiful at center. If he figures out, and the snapping, it was just one snap that was a little high, and then the rest was fine. And if that snapping gets tight, watch him block. Have fun. Watch Connor Williams maul the hell out of people. See, I am dead serious. Watch him. It's fun. I want him at center. You need him at center. You need him on that wall. I want him on that wall. Yeah, Sean.
Connor Williams was the highest graded center. I mean, I get it. Some people don't worry about it. He was the highest graded center in NFL last week.
I know. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. Dude, he mauled Vita Vea in practice. Let me just repeat that again. He mauled Vita Vea in practice. Have you watched Vita Vea? That's a big ass strong mofo. Okay, Vita Vea moves buildings. Not human beings, buildings. Hey, I thought that building was on 6th Street. No, it's now on 8th. Vita moved it. And Connor was mauling his ass on one-on-ones. Connor's a badass, dude. Center's hard to fill. If you fill that center spot, that is golden for Tua. He needs a clean pocket like all short quarterbacks need a super clean pocket. And it starts with center. Then you move over to the guards. So let's keep Connor there. They've got to figure out the guards. I am standing my ground on this one. By the way, you're up to 453. We're getting there. Let's go. 150 more to get over 600. Come on. But I'm standing my ground. The next time Michael Dieter gets a shot, he will keep that job at guard. Because I believe he's the kind of mauler that Connor is. And that's what you kind of need up front. Because I still think Eichenberg is a tackle. He's not a guard when it's all said and done. So we'll find out. But I just got a feeling that Dieter is on that brink of turning the corner, at this point. We'll see. Thank you, King Short. Yes, everybody loves the hat. I should have bought 2 of these. Back in the day, I should have bought 2 of them when I bought it on Amazon because it is so awesome. And for those of you that haven't seen it, I'll show it again. And I got it on Amazon. See, it has this. Then it has the logo inside. There you go. And by the way, it's a new era cap. Okay. And it also has the logo on the side. The real logo, by the way. Love this hat. I saw this hat years ago. It's like 5-6 years ago. And I had to have it. I had to have it. It's such an awesome hat. Let's see. Send some panko lechon to North Carolina. Poppy Video wants some panko lechon. Big O, do you find fans in today's world to be more annoying and judgmental than before? Or are they more annoying than when you covered in the 90s, early 2000s? Well, they have more access now, so they're way more annoying now. Yeah, way more annoying now. Yes, because since we all have access to each other so quickly, social media, everything like that, and then we have a tendency, Karen, of people saying one thing that's wrong, and then people that don't do their own homework, They just repeat what they repeated, the misinformation that they repeated. So yeah, that is a problem. That is a problem. I think sometimes some fans are actually more educated on football, but then there's a lot of fans, because they have the power of the keyboard with them, which they didn't before, they're much louder and they're there. You know what I mean? It's more prominent. Like, look what's going on with Tua. I mean, it's just absolutely insane the way Tua is treated. 471. We got 16 minutes left here on the show. Big O, I found that hat, but it has the stupid whale logo. Oh, yeah, no. Then it's not the hat. It's not this hat if it's got the whale logo. No, sir. No, sir. What else do we have? It's the first game relaxed. Miami Dolphins won 20-7. The offense had to take the rust off from the first game. Relax. Look at other teams, not just Tua. Amen, Steven. Amen. But Tua's measured completely different than everybody else. Arnaldo says, exactly, Big O. Tua wins, and they still criticize him. Adonis throws another pick six in the end zone, and it's the tight end's fault. No, and then he throws a Tannehill-like touchdown and yards. Oh, what a tough guy staying in there, this, that. It's like, please, dude. Give me a break. Garbage points. When there's no more pressure anymore, there's nothing to lose at that point. Mario Christagoat says, issue is Dolphin fans don't want to watch other teams, and QB's Herbert literally lost the game for the Chargers with a 99-yard interception in the fourth, which is what he's always done in his career. Yep. There you go. If you think Tua sucks, you might be a tennis fan. What does that mean? I don't get that one. I don't understand it. That one went over my head. What am I missing on that? If you think Tua sucks, you must be a tennis. Oh, okay. I guess you don't know anything about football and you're a tennis person. I get you. That's probably what you mean by, okay, I got you. You probably follow tennis and you don't know anything about football. All right. Dtalk 90 says, Big O, give me a fins up LFG. I am so hyped for my fins today. And I'm telling you, baby, fins up. Yeah. We're going to get it done today. They're going to win today. And yes, I did take the Dolphins plus 3.5, right? I think that was the line. I did take the Dolphins plus 3.5 in our A-Lenny lockdown segment on Friday. So now I've got the Dolphins plus 3.5 today and the Bucks plus -3. I really have it at 2.5, but didn't know it was going to go up. Didn't know that he had that fractures in his back. I probably would have put a little more money on the 2.5. If I knew that, I might have I would have raised my investment a little bit more overall. We will be back, by the way, for the post-game show. We will be back for a successful and happy post-game show as the Dolphins will defeat the Baltimore Ravens and get it done. All right, you guys got us up to 475. It's pretty damn good, man. Pretty damn good. I'd love to get over the 600 mark. That would be nice. So, Tua's a damn good player. Yes, he is. Madden and fantasy football have screwed up the young fans. Yeah, and some middle-aged fans too, by the way. I got middle-aged fans that aren't very, very good. Big O, let's get that running game going, and we'll beat the guys, the guys big, fins up. If they get the running game going, there's no doubt in my mind that the Dolphins will win this game. And I'm really intrigued, as we talked about it. How are they going to attack Lamar? Are they going to use that zero blitz? Tanner Conner. I'm interested to see if Tanner Conner is a weapon that's whipped out today. Greg Little filling in for Austin Jackson. He's got 4 weeks And if he plays really well, I don't know how Austin Jackson gets his job back, to be quite honest. So this is the opportunity of a lifetime for Greg Little now. He lost everything after the draft. He wasn't able to justify his draft status. He found himself out. The Dolphins brought him in. They've been working on developing him. This is the second year with him on the roster, and he has shown some improvement. Now we will find out if they can actually make him a player. And he's got one hell of an opportunity. And these guys, they don't play draft picks just to justify them. They play the best player. They don't care. So it's really interesting to see what Greg Little does today, filling in. And will he do enough to, steal the job? I'm interested. And then, Tua Tagovailoa, how he handles pressure today. And I'm not talking about the game, like the periphery and the people. That's all crap. He doesn't worry about that. What I'm saying is the Ravens are going to try to pressure because they're probably going to do a decent job of stopping the run because Miami hasn't proven to run yet. So it'll be another mission for him today if they don't get the run going, because last week you had no running game and you still passed for 270. But it's not easy to get the passing game going. And remember this, as I mentioned in the postgame show last week and throughout, we will never see the real Mike McDaniel offense until he can run the ball. He has to be able to run the ball and use the misdirection. And I wonder if we'll see more misdirection today. Besides Tanner Conner, besides Greg Little, besides the zero cover blitz against Lamar, we didn't see a ton of misdirection last week. It was almost like they used more of it in the preseason game against Philly than they did against New England almost. And so I'm really intrigued to see if there's more of those deceiving type plays to get the running game going. Okay. Very, very intrigued. By the way, we also have the former Dolphin Kenyon Drake, a guy that I wouldn't mind to see the Dolphins sign as a backup here, but he goes to the Ravens. It's Kenyon Drake it's like an odd thing, right? Because he has talent and he makes plays, but nobody ever is willing to make him the man, ever. It's weird, isn't it? Hell, the Raiders drafted two guys late in the draft, like 7th rounders, and they chose to keep him over Kenyon. They chose to keep him over Kenyon, and they were willing to take, like, I believe it was like $8 million in cap hits the next 2 years. I mean, boy, you're really dying to get rid of the guy. It's odd how he can't find a home in Miami, Arizona, Raiders. Now he's with Baltimore, and yet he has talent. He can play. He can make big plays at times. Hope he doesn't today, but damn. True Fin fan as always. Damn it, you're awesome, dude. Big O, when can we see a game with you? Looking forward to it. What do you do for Miami sports and fans is second to none. I don't know if we'll be at a game because we're, hopefully if everything goes well, we're doing pre and post at bars and stuff like that. So we're trying to finalize some of that stuff and try to get some of these shows on the road. So I doubt I'll be at a game physically. Plus, I can't broadcast from a game because we're not part of the rights or anything like that. So we really can't overall. But I appreciate you, man. And hopefully we'll run into each other somehow, some way, someday. Training camp, draft, something like that. Yes, sir.
No, just check your Twitter DM. I just sent you something that was just.
Oh, okay. Okay. Giovanni says Lamar is coming for revenge, but the Finns will be ready. Shows you can beat us with your arm. Bring it on, Baltimore. The war is ready. Okay? We are ready. Oh, God. Well, this is what happens when you sign Deshaun Watson. I don't know if we should show that. You know, yeah, I don't think we're going to show that, right, Sean? No, yeah, I don't want to show that. But what's going on? This is what happens with the Browns. You want to sign a scumbag like that? This is what's going to happen. Andrew Pereira says, knowledge equals power, and you prove us every week. Big O, appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. That's very nice of you. Let's see. Hialeah equals agua, fango, and factoria. I was born there. Jeffrey Whitcomb, Big O, you're the best. Keep up the fun times. Thank you, sir. We will. Post game, we'll keep up the fun times. We'll talk about the Dolphins beating the Ravens today, and we'll talk about Tua's performance. And you know those Herbert people are waiting in the wings. They are dying for Tua to have a terrible game today. They are dying for Tua's mistakes or whatever so they can pounce. But I'll tell you what, you know what's going to kill those Herbert fans today? If Tua actually goes out there and has a terrific game and they win again, okay? Those Herbert fans are going to be hurting so badly because they're going to go, oh my God, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I fell in love with talent when it's a lot more than just talent. Sometimes in life, some people have to learn the hard way. That's all. We're at 499. We've reached 500. It's pretty damn good. Thank you out there, man. Thank you very much. Sean, Chad, myself, we thank you all. By the way, post-game, Cameron Wolf will be joining us. Marcel Louis-Jacques will be joining us. We'll have the post-game press conference from Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa. We will take your questions and your comments on the chat board, on the Welton Rayom text line, on Twitter, all of those things, your questions, your comments, your insults. Who knows? Maybe you Herbert people get to pounce on us at the end of the game and you'll have your fun or whatever. I doubt it, but you never know. You can hold out hope. So take out those dolls, take out the pins, and start poking Tua all you want and try to bring him down, baby. Go ahead. You will lose in the end. Because as you all know, Tua has a winning record as a starter, and Herbert doesn't. So those are the facts, ladies and gentlemen. Fun fact, if the Browns want somebody, don't try to sign him. He's probably overrated or has a bigger criminal record than receipts from Best Buy. Adonis lovers will never admit they're wrong, Big O. You're probably right. Andrew Pereira says, aloha, Big O. Aloha, sir. What happened with Watson now? Did I miss? Oh, Giovanni, I can't show it. You got to go to Twitter. What they're doing in the Browns game and the tailgating, they've got like this massage table and a dummy and yeah.
Sad as I don't even want to.
Huh?
I was like, retweet it, but I don't even want to retweet that.
No, I'm not even retweeting it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah, no, I can't even retweet that. It's just but this is what comes with that territory. You want to bring that scumbag to your team and to your city. It's what it is. And you know what? I want the Dolphins to win at most costs, not that one. I would have had a hard time dealing with the Dolphins this year if Deshaun Watson was on this team. I got to be brutally honest with that. And I've never had a problem with the Dolphins ever in my life. I love my Dolphins. I want what's best for them. But that Watson situation, that might have crossed a line that I would never, ever want to cross. Disgusted. Anyway, we are out of here. We thank Sean Stanley, as always. Great job by him. We thank all of you for tuning in and smashing that like button. Keep smashing it as you're listening to the to it after and get us over 500, 600, that is. Get us over 700. Get us to 1,000. We love y'all. We'll see you for the postgame show. Y'all be safe. Go Fins.
This has been the Miami Dolphins Pregame Show on the Sports Talk 305 Network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. We'll be back with a complete wrap-up of the game once the last second ticks off the clock. Thank you for your support and enjoy the game.